Hello viewers, Walter here. Do a little bit of a vlog today. I'm out here in my lawnmower graveyard, i.e. wood chipper pile. Got a lot of limbs chopped up yesterday. Thought I'd talk to you just a little bit. I kind of lost my cool yesterday when I thought I'd tore up my wood chipper. Last night I was watching YouTube. And you know how when you're watching YouTube or Google or any of them, once you've watched one particular type of video, Google thinks that's what you want to see, so they start flooding your home page on YouTube or somewhere with those type videos, whatever it was you watched. And, I watched several of them about wood chippers when I was working on mine. Well, you saw what a stupid thing I did on my wood chipper. Tried to jam a big piece of wood in there way too fast. Solid oak at that. But it took me that one time to learn my lesson. Some people just don't learn their lesson. I watched one, I'm not going to name no names, but I thought the guy was a whole lot dumber than me. He was demonstrating one of these Harbor Freight wood chipper shredders. He did basically the same thing I did on mine. He jammed a big piece of wood down in there, conked the darn thing out, got it stuck in there. Didn't conk it out, he got it stuck in there, couldn't get the piece of wood out. So I guess he cut on his film and went back to, got it out, got his thing running again, went back to chopping wood again. First thing he does is pick up another piece of big wood and try to jam it down in there and got it stuck again. Well, about 3 or 4 times during the process of making his video, he tried jamming great big pieces of wood in there. I'm sure his chipper won't last as long as mine. The moral of the story is that you should learn from your mistakes. Don't persist in making them all the time. Well, it sure is nice out here in the shade. I was watching Texas Vikings video this morning. He's back, done got out of the hospital. I'm glad he's doing better. I kind of been that same route with bleeding ulcers. I know exactly how he felt. Well, maybe not exactly, but I know I felt bad when I had it. I'm glad he's on the mend, though. What else has been going on? Oh, I need to get back on my riding lawnmower carburetor. The reason I'm out here this morning, I'm going to look around on some of these mowers out here. I don't think I got another Kohler engine out here. I believe everything out here is bricks and shredding, but I thought it wouldn't hurt to look. If there's any parts I could use off these mowers down there on my green mower. We're definitely going to put a fuel shutoff valve in that green mower when I get it running again. The thing is that I think what the problem is, I know the carburetor needs cleaning. Well, for one thing, you can't get a replacement carburetor kit, I'm told. They want you to buy a whole new carburetor for like $300 or $400. That little solenoid, fuel shutoff solenoid on the bottom of the carburetor, they say it costs $60, $70 just for a little fitting with a plunger on it. So I'm trying to clean mine out. I don't know where you'd get one. Some people say you can take and grind the plunger off and put it back in there. If it gets right down to it, that might be what I have to do. I don't want to constantly be doing yard work, but although I've got plenty of it to do. I want to fix a trailer hitch on this thing for pulling my stuff. I want to get back to my, many of you saw this old stainless steel barbecue grill I got in the garage. I'm going to clean up the garage a little bit today, pick up some of that junk that got piled around. And I want to get back on my blacksmithing project to make a forge out of my grill. I've already bought the bricks and I got some metal. I just need the time to get back on that project. Some of my backed up projects that I never did, I need to get my military air compressor out of the basement. I never did do a run on that, but I haven't forgot. I got a buku of projects I could be working on. About the main thing I want to do right now is get that green lawnmower going, because this is what I need for pulling all this generator trailers and stuff around here to cut my limbs down with. Weed killer trailer, and utility trailer, and beef hauling trailer. And I got more trailers in that garage you can shake a stick at. But I'm going to get off this thing. Look over here on these riding lawnmowers to see if there's anything I can use on my green mower. And if you see something in these mowers that you might need, let me know. Maybe we can work something out. Give me a drink of water. Your village called. Their idiot is missing. Here's a project I need to do. I just about ripped off my little flapper on here. It's broke right here. I'm going to either plastic weld it or patch it or something. Fix that booger back up. I'm sure it would be more feasible to fix that than it would to go buy a new one. I bet that piece of plastic would cost you $75. I got two old riding mowers here. I've got rid of a couple of them. This Craftsman mower got something wrong with the transaxle on it. Locked up in one of the gears. I never did get around to fixing it. Just bought a new mower. It wouldn't help me with the carburetor problem. That's still a good running engine. I'm sure it's been covered up. It would take some work to get it running again, but it was running last time I used it. Couldn't get it out of first gear, so you had to start it while it was actually in gear. I've stole a starter off here. That's just a Briggs & Stratton carburetor there. That's a 12 horsepower Craftsman Briggs & Stratton engine. I think it's Briggs. I guess no, I stole stuff off the seat too. I was thinking it might be the same kind of seat that's on my green one. Oh, it's kind of black, but if I ever need a Briggs & Stratton engine, I know where to look to get one. I think this one's probably a Briggs too. Transaxle on this is really slow, but it's a working lawnmower. It's got a 15.5 horsepower engine on it. Briggs & Stratton. If I can't get my fuel tank fixed, on my green lawnmower, if I can't find a grommet for it, the tank under the seat, it's definitely a possibility I could use that gravity feed tank right there. That oil's clean. Somebody gave me this mower, and it had a broke deck on it. I had to buy a new thing-a-doodle on the mower under there. That ain't the same plastic thing that's on my other one, is it? No, it's different.
I suppose it could be made to work in a pinch. Doesn't cover the outlet though. Here's an interesting mower. I got this out one day and tinkered with it to see if I could get it running. And it ran pretty good, but it had a carburetor problem. It wasn't running good, but it runs. A nice little fuel tank right there. Probably needs cleaned out. Can't get the cap off of it. That's a unique lawnmower right there. These push mowers, they're a dime a dozen. I had all of these piled up there around the boathouse. I moved them out here. I need to get a shed if I want to keep all this stuff. Just leave it laying out here. Put a little utility shed out here and open my own little lawnmower parts. That was a good looking, good running mower, but carburetor's jammed up with bad gas. Self-propelled mower. It ran pretty good at one time. When you're cutting 2.5 acres, push mower is not what you need. You're wasting your money on a push mower. A little small yard, push mowers are fine. Gotta be careful plunging around here and get myself snake bit. Well, I don't see anything right offhand. Maybe some of the tires could be reused, but in fact the tires on the front of this thing are brand new. I bought them and put it on there back when I was trying to get it running again. But it turned out to be more of a pain in the tail to fix the transaxle on that thing than it was worth. Quite often it's easier just to go out and buy a new lawnmower. I saw a guy on a YouTube video last night and did exactly that. He went to and bought him a big old John Deere riding lawnmower. Looked like a little green John Deere tractor. Bought it at Home Depot, and I guess they lived 5 or 6 miles from Home Depot. He got on that that John Deere tractor and drove it home with his wife following him most of the way. And he managed to drive it home, although he was acting a fool with the damn thing. I'd be afraid the cop's going to get me right there, out there, gunning it and jumping it around and acting a dummy. That's a good little 5 horsepower motor right there. Sitting out here going to waste. Hey, there wasn't a thing wrong with that lawnmower. In fact, I'm sure it would get it running again. This was one of those mulching mowers, or you can raise the back up right here. I still got the bag for it somewhere in the garage. You put a bag on the back and catch your grass trimmings. But I never have been a big pro pick up or rake your grass type item. If I can't mow it with my lawnmower and mulch it right into the ground, it won't get done. I'm going to get me some of these cross ties I got out here. They used to build me a little, like a half a square, to shoot these wood chips in rather than blow them all over the yard. It'll make a nice little project. I got projects at the yin yang. I tell you what would make an interesting project. Get a couple of those small trailers like I made for my sprayer trailer with, or like, you know, the trailer that goes on this kind of bed right here. And take the frames off these riding lawnmowers, at least the part with the seat and where you can put your feet. Mount that on the trailer, like a little place for somebody to ride, like a little, it'll look like another lawnmower. Put the trailer hitch on the front. It wouldn't have any front tires. And just hook one trailer behind the other one and another one behind that. Have it like your own little train. A lawnmower train. Wouldn't that make an interesting video? Comes Walter with his lawnmower train. Put little couplers in there between each one of them. Get all the kids in the family and get them on a mower and give them a ride. That guy last night with the green John Deere tractor he bought at Home Depot came home. They gave him a little trailer to go with it. He put his little poodle dog in the back of the trailer and give him a ride. It reminded me of my Western Flyer bicycle I had as a kid. I had a dog named Boots. Boots was a good old dog too. I had a paper route and I delivered newspapers, and I had 2 baskets on the back, big baskets. I'd put the newspapers on one side and put Boots in the other side. When I was out collecting, she'd sit right there in that basket and wouldn't move. I'd put the kickstand down, and she'd sit right there in that basket and guard my papers. Anybody come around and try to get one, she'd bark at them. Boots was a half beagle and a half dachshund. I hadn't thought of that dog in a long time. I love dogs. I've noticed many of you people, my viewers out there, do too. But you get too attached to them. It's like losing one of your kids when you lose one of them. And our last dog hurt me so bad I decided I didn't want no more dogs. I've had a couple of outside dogs, yard dogs, but I'll never have another dog in the house. Not only is it hard to keep after them, you gotta babysit them all the time. You can't even go on vacation without worrying about what you're gonna do with the dog. And you, like I say, you get too attached to them. I've got a pretty good pile of limbs out here. And I've got a lot more limbs to cut. Let's go clean the garage. I appreciate you tuning in, my friends. Thanks for listening to me ramble on.